Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Lost. This is the 10th episode of the second season. Double digits. I cannot believe we are absolutely flying through this season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far. Last episode, very interesting. We had a Kate backstory. We've seen that she actually killed her biological father. She didn't know that it was a biological father at the time of doing it. She just thought it was somebody that her mum actually got with, and he was abusing her, and he was a drunk, and he was obviously not a good influence in her life. And basically, it was kind of correlating to the story on the island, where she was kind of saying, you know, every time she sees Sawyer, she kind of sees this guy called Wayne, and it always makes her feel sick, and do you know what I mean? And the way he made her feel. And obviously she eliminated him in the present. She killed him, and that's why she's on the run. That's how the marshal got her the first time, but he ended up crashing his car because it was raining. She escaped, and then obviously we don't know if that's the next time he found her was in Australia, or he might have found her in other times, and we could see him, you know, consistently being on the run throughout the whole season or the show. You know, it would be good to see, because the Kate's backstories are pretty good, to be honest. Hers are all kind of full of chaos. Now, it'd be good to have another Sawyer backstory, if I'm being totally honest. I like the episode that we got of him, where he ended up obviously shooting and killing somebody, and we thought that that was his first kill. Just like we thought Kate's first kill kind of was when she crashed the car, but no, last episode, like I said, she blew up a house and killed obviously her biological father, and that is why she was on the run. She ended up in the present on the island, you know, kissing Jack, which is interesting, after Sawyer actually drugged up explained to Jack that he kind of loves Kate himself, but I don't know if he was hallucinating and not knowing what he was saying. But that was obviously disclosed to Jack in private, and then obviously later on in the episode she ended up kissing him. So that again is creating the triangle. Also interesting stuff that's going on. We found a second half of the tape, the bit that was chopped. I was wondering what's going on, you know, like why has that been taken? Well, Mr. EKO explained that in his bunker there was something there, and he brought it back. He sat down, he spoke to Locke, and it gave it him, who pieced the pieces together, created the tape, you know, in its whole entirety, sat down and watched it, and basically the information that was taken out was the explaining that something had already happened and taken place, an incident prior, and they need to watch out and be careful obviously inside of this facility. So I don't know who's taking that out and why they thought that was relevant to be, you know, something that nobody should be knowing, but somebody has done that, and it'd be interesting to know who. I want to know where Desmond's gone, but the main talking point in my personal opinion would be the ending of the episode, where Michael was sat down at a computer. Somebody started typing, "Hello, who is this? I'm Michael. Who am I speaking to? Dad?" Question mark. He's like, "What?" And then the episode ended. So crazy stuff, mate. Honestly, I think it's them just baiting Michael. Don't even know it's actually happening, if I'm being totally honest, but I feel like it's the others trying to obviously infiltrate the camp. That's where we currently are. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the series so far. If you do enjoy today's episode, please smash a like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into the 10th episode of the second season of Lost.
Kill him. What's your name, boy? What's your name, boy?
EKO.
Oh, mate, we get an EKO episode. Very interesting.
Look at Mr. EKO. No hesitation. A born killer. You won't need that anymore.
He done that to save his brother. You got to respect it. You know what I mean? It's ruthless how stuff like this actually happens. All just turned up like that out of no reason, telling him to kill people.
What are you writing?
Things I need to remember.
And this is Aaron.
Brother of Moses.
Must have been tough to live up to, right? Pressure of everyone saying, "Why can't you be more like your brother Moses?"
Aaron was a great man.
So you're religious, huh? You'd speak to Charlie. He doesn't want to admit he's religious, but he carries around a statue of the Virgin Mary.
Statue.
Yeah.
May I see it?
He knows anything with the drugs, or do you reckon it's just because he's religious and he loves it?
Said he found it in the jungle.
Where in the jungle?
I don't know. It's just a statue.
Just a statue. Where is Charlie?
See, I want to know why he is so not concerned, but do you know what I mean? Like, why is he so involved in it? If that makes sense. Like, it's just that, first of all, Charlie could have just known that it was a statue that he found in the jungle. I mean, we know that that's not the case, but they plant it as if everybody knows that information, if that makes sense. So, like, to me, when the bottle with everybody's letters in drifted into the sea, yeah, that could have just fell off the raft. But they always talked as if it was something dangerous and something bad that had happened. And it did actually happen, but that's because we seen it. But the possibility of it just falling off was very high, in my personal opinion. Also, the possibility that you've walked, gone and searched a plane that you found in the jungle and found the Virgin Mary as a statue and not knowing what's inside it without smashing it is very high as well. Do you know what I'm saying? But because we know Charlie's story and we know why he took it, we know that he's correct. But again, I think we only see it from one side because we know that information. But also, like, do you reckon that it was his town or his people that was flying that plane in the first place? They was the drug runners, you know what I mean? And then again, it's like, how is it that everybody, like Locke saying, it's like destiny or fate, that everybody's come from all these different parts of the world and they've all ended up kind of joining together? Do you know what I mean? At some point, with all some sort of connection, it's mad.
I used to love those old silent movies where the robbers would crack a combination lock with their ear pressed up against a safe.
Setting the combination?
With the new folks joining us, I figure we better limit people's access to the guns.
He's got wit. He's got charm. When he gets rough, he'll break your arm. Hey, Jin, do you like the Kinks?
Oh, Mr. Echo's coming, mate.
Where did you find this?
In the jungle. I found it in the jungle.
Take me there. I want you to take me to where you found it.
We'll go first thing in the morning, okay?
We're going now.
He is intimidating, isn't he, once he gets in that mood?
Get us some beers. Go.
Where did you find this?
What does it matter?
$50. $50 is what I will pay you in exchange for the favor you're asking me to do. The only private planes currently allowed into the air are either UN aid or the Catholic missionaries.
It is true what they say about you.
And what is that?
You have no soul.
Go.
That was a swift double kill, that, wasn't it?
Tell your
One.
friends I let you live.
What happened to the statue?
Don't play stupid, Charlie, because this was in your little statue. And unless I'm mistaken, I seem to remember you saying you were a drug addict.
Look, if it's sealed up inside a statue, how would I know? You believe me now?
That's big from Charlie, that. Look. Show me that he wasn't using. Well, I'm hoping anyway. It made me believe that he's not using.
My dad used to take me hunting. Of course, birds don't shoot back.
I know people are talking, thinking I'm gonna go running off after Walt again.
If people are talking, I'm not hearing it. Bravo.
I reckon he loves the power behind the gun. Do you know what I mean? He loves the feel of it.
We're here, right here, right by that tree.
You did not find the statue here.
Maybe he's been going back himself and just getting more. I don't know, man.
You told her you did not know what was inside the statue. Then what is the wrong idea? When I showed you the broken pieces of plaster, you said you did not want her to get the wrong idea.
That is smart, actually.
I don't have to tell you anything, man. What?
Let's go.
I think Jack and Danielle and Kate have seen that before when he went to see the ship, wasn't it?
I've come to give my confession.
You reckon that's a little kid that he saved?
Hello, Echo.
Hello, brother.
Confession to mean something, you must have a penitent heart.
I've only done what I needed to do to survive.
You may live far from here, but that doesn't mean I haven't heard of who you are.
Is what I did that day a sin, or is it forgiven?
Why are you here, Echo?
I have some merchandise. I would like to use one of your church relief flights to transport it. We are moving the drugs out of Nigeria so that they cannot be used by our people. And the money, you have all the money to buy your vaccine.
I will always love you, but I will not help.
You know what I mean? This guy's interesting, you know. He wants to save his village, but he don't want to do anything bad to get to that place.
You know, you don't have to be belligerent just for belligerent's sake.
Glad you're back, man.
Hey, Kate. Hey, Locke said you were on hatch duty later. You mind if I go instead?
Sure, it's all yours.
Let's go back on the computer. I want to know what more he wrote.
Glad you're okay, man.
I'm not what you think I am. It was my brother's fault.
Sorry.
It was his fault I became an addict. What?
Reckon it could be his brother that was driving it. Surely not. Because look, the priest outfit. Do you remember? They said it was a priest. And Tooth, though.
You know that guy?
This man saved my life.
Like I was saying, was it last episode or something? Small world. Do you know what I mean? Like, you go on holiday and somebody from, like, Manchester, where I'm from, or wherever you're from, like, he's there, and you're like, bloody hell, small world, mate. You would have thought I'd see you here. I like Mr. Echo so far. It's been decent on the island. Like, literally, it really, really has been. But it's also interesting to see his backstory. Like, he looks like a criminal. Let's be honest. Like, the stuff that he's doing, people he's murdering. At first, he killed somebody because he was willing to save his brother. Do you know what I mean? He was trying to save him. And that's why he just said then, would God have forgiven him for that? That would be interesting to know. But the rest of his actions and the rest of his life decisions that he's done and you know, like the position that he put himself in, no, he probably wouldn't. But again, in it very interesting that the fact is he was smuggling drugs. He was the one sending that plane and it crashed here. And now somehow he's found himself locked on the island as well. It's mad.
He takes off in a plane in Nigeria. We're out in the middle of the South Pacific. That makes all the sense in the world.
This is scripture written here.
You're a priest, right? He's a priest and you're a priest too, right?
How dare you come here and disrupt my work?
Have you reconsidered?
What?
My request.
Look, hey, don't touch those!
I'm going to make this easy for you. You will make us priests, and we will fly the drugs out ourselves.
Leave this church now, Echo.
I am your brother, and I would never do anything to hurt you. If you do not do what I ask, they will burn this church to the ground.
That guy's resorted to blackmailing him.
My signature does not make you a priest, Echo. You could never be a priest.
I guess we are both sinners now.
Perhaps we are, but God will forgive me.
Well, he was forced, wasn't he, and blackmailed. It's always different when that's the case.
Climb that tree, and perhaps you'll be able to get your bearings. What's the plane?
What kind of priest are you, anyway?
Reckon he gets taken, Mr. Echo? What the hell is it? Surely Charlie can see it now. Oh, it's just a black smoke. I don't know what's just gone on there, mate. Honestly, I really don't.
Most people, when they see a creature made of swirling black smoke, they run.
See the plane?
Yes, I saw your plane. It's about 1 kilometer that way.
Checking that no one's around so he can sit on that computer in there.
Where are you?
I can't believe he's falling for it, me.
You down here alone? Yeah. Hurley's supposed to be here, but I guess he's running late.
I don't have any idea what you must be going through. I just want you to know that as soon as we can, we're gonna figure out a way to go out and bring him back.
Well, I'll leave you to it then.
It makes me feel like he's not actually doing it. I don't know. You know what I mean? The coincidence, like, how is it turning on when he needs it, and then when he don't need it to be on, it's not on? Do you know what I mean?
Echo.
Came to stop you.
Go back to your tent.
Do not get on that plane, Echo. Oh, the military!
They need to go now, them ones.
I did not tell them who was involved. Just leave the drugs and come back with me.
No! No more!
Oh. You can pretend that he's a priest car, maybe. Yo, he's dribbling all over him. I'll take that necklace back though.
Father? Are you okay, Father?
He's lucky getting away. Isn't it funny how they like just see that he's a father and they just instantly think, okay, he wasn't involved in that. Do you know what I mean? Like his brother, God, his brother called it in to try and do the right thing, and then he was the one that got killed. And he just said that guy with a goal too saved his life, when realistically, he only saved his life by not letting him get on the plane, in terms of he would have crashed here and died. Do you know what I mean? That's how he said, but he ended up here anyway. So, I mean, it's not, he did save his life in that moment. And, you know, he kind of gave him a way out, if that makes sense, because they're kind of thinking that he's a priest now, you know what I mean? And he wasn't involved in the drug running, so he's kind of got away with it there. And obviously this guy's come and he's crashed here and died on the island. It looked like he died straight away, actually, in the crash, didn't it? Because I think his body was strapped to the tree. That was the one that fell, where they got the gun off him the first time. So he didn't really make it onto the island and try to survive. It seemed like they died during the, you know, like during the landing or the crash landing. Now again, it's interesting. He's getting his necklace back, which I would take as well, because it was originally his. But his whole backstory's been pretty decent, to be honest. He does seem kind of scary, and he is a violent guy. I'm not going to lie, from what we've seen today. But if he's a, you know, a reformed person, if that makes sense, an actual one that does believe in God now and wants to help, his skill assets, so to speak, his violence can be beneficial when it comes to defending you and the camp and moving forward and trying to get Michael's son back. Do you know what I'm saying? And with Michael as well, I need to know if it's actually real that he's typing on the computer or if it's something that he's just envisaging in his head to make him feel better.
He's my brother. I'm sorry.
Or is he going to burn it?
For the one I broke.
Wonder how much USD that is getting burnt.
Are you a priest or aren't you?
I am. Yea, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, fear no evil, for thou art with me.
Maybe Charlie needs somebody to guide him as well, to help him. Fish. His hair looks fine considering they've got a lack of resources. Or bone in that it's short. See Kate, give both of them the eyes, she's still confused.
Look, I can't have you around my baby.
I knew that's
Charlie,
where it was gonna go.
Sleeping anywhere near us, okay?
I'm surprised as well they let people venture out into the, you know, into the forest, like, while they're on their own in the dark. It's a tough one, that, actually, because again, it's another little tease. It is another little tease that he's taking the drugs, but then I physically not seen him take any. So I'm again going to be one of these optimists. I was optimistic that it was just a bait that Shannon died, but she did die. And I'm optimistic that, you know, having this thing around has been used as a comfort blanket for him in terms of, like, acknowledging his self-progression, and he wants to, you know what I mean, go forward, obviously being a better person. Now, again, there's been certain times where you think maybe he is actually using, you know what I mean? And he's obviously been back to the plane multiple times, or even a few times, so because he's got a little stash going now, but we haven't seen him use any of them. And he actually ripped some of the drugs up in this episode, which made me believe that he wasn't using. And obviously, again, he could be fooling me. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, I do think that it's a progression sign, because even a drug addict, no matter how much of the stuff that they have, wouldn't rip or burn any of it, you know, away, because it's just pain to them. Now, I think I asked this in the first season, and again, all of the drugs inside of that, how long would that last for Charlie to take? That's what I want to know. Because is it the midgiest bit that you have, or do you have loads of it? I don't know. I don't take the drug. I have no clue. But he's got a lot of statues in there, which is a lot of heroin. And I would love to know, like, if he took some every day as just like a normal usage person taking it, so to speak, how long would it last him? And I also have to say, is just because somebody takes drugs doesn't mean that they're a bad person. I've got to say that. I don't think Charlie's a bad person. Even if he's been taking the drugs all season, it still doesn't mean that he's not a good guy, you know. It's when the people who need the drugs start doing crazy stuff, like smashing up places, stealing, like we seen in his backstory, that's when they become a bad person, you know what I mean? But, like, if somebody on a normal day-to-day basis had to have a little bit of a drug to stay, like, calm and chilled and go to work and work the 9-to-5 job and didn't do anything to society and come home and took a little bit more drugs, I would say that that is fine. I'm not saying that you should be taking drugs, but what I mean is, like I was saying, it doesn't mean they're a bad person. You know, he's been good to Aaron and obviously to Claire, and he's been thoughtful and caring for them and always wanted to protect him. And if he's been doing that on drugs or off drugs, he's still the same Charlie that we know. So I don't know really if he has been taking them. I just feel like it's teasing us that he has, even though we've not seen that he has been doing. That's going to wrap up today's episode. 10 episodes in the bag. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far. So, interesting story that we've had going on today. We've had a Mr. EKO one, and seen how, obviously, the drugs arrived on the island. It's not a question that I ever wondered, but I'm glad I got the answer to it. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you get stuff you never thought of and considered, and then you're happy that you did get that told to you. So, you know, he is obviously in Nigeria. Some people come and obviously was trying to take all the children and forcing them to kill people at the start of the episode. And they grabbed his little brother and he wanted him to do it before he's ran over, took the gun himself and killed a guy. And they took him and obviously recruited him. And he's worked up the ranks and it seemed like he'd become a guy in charge, doing this crazy stuff, obviously illegal, killing people. Savage mode, it obviously fits kind of with his character in terms of being able to beat people up and fight them and obviously being intimidating here on the island. But we got the whole backstory how his brother become a priest. Obviously he wanted to do this drug running as well. He wanted to ship it out. It's not his usual business, but it would have created a lot of money for him, a lot of money for his brother, and helped the community create all these vaccines. And his brother really, you know, he didn't really want to go ahead with it until he was blackmailed, and then he actually called it in. When the military come to actually obviously stop the plane from taking off, he actually got shot himself and taken. Now obviously Mr. Echo got kicked out and they come and like got him, and obviously they didn't think he was part of the deal, which was lucky for him. But that is obviously the plane crash landing onto the island. And now obviously it makes sense at the start of the episode when I was saying, why is he so involved and so concerned about this Virgin Mary? You know what I mean? Like, why is he just wanting Charlie so much to take him to the plane? Well, we got the question answered here because obviously we got the story. We've seen how the guy kits Mr. Echo out with a gold tooth, which obviously like replaced his spot on the plane, which kind of saved him there. He's gone, he's found his brother, he's given him like a burial, a burning. He's obviously taken all the heroin and destroyed it, slash also getting his necklace back as well, which is decent. And then we've seen Charlie at the end with loads of these Virgin Marys. Claire's kicked him out as well. You know, she don't want him around the baby. I knew that was going to happen as soon as it was revealed that the drugs was inside of obviously that statue. People, some know that he was obviously a heroin addict prior to being on the island, and obviously he's recovering, but being around it, you know, it might be a concern to people. Personally, I hope that he's not taking it, and I hope that by not taking it, you know what I mean, that like Claire kicking him out would be a negative thing in terms of, you know, I hope that she realises that he was a good influence on the baby and like she needed him, you know what I mean, and it was good to have him around, and he is caring of them, and he's not selfish, so to speak. Like, because right now she's kicked him out and don't want him around because obviously she's scared of something that could happen to her and the baby, and she's judging him for being an addict. But I'm hoping that it's not the case, he's not taking it, and that's a bad and wrong decision from her, and obviously later on down the season we can rectify it. But then again, who knows, mate. Michael, he sat at the computer, he's typing, Jack nearly caught him. I need to know if that's actually happening or not as well. I feel like sometimes certain situations happen and I'm always questioning, like, what's the word now? Like, what's the odds that he'd sit at a computer and everybody's typing and nothing pops up? But when he sits down and starts typing, words do pop up. And then when Jack comes in and looks at the screen, nothing's there. But when Michael looks at the screen, when Jack goes away, something is there. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are the odds that that is actually happening? It's proper random. And again, it's the questions like, are you okay? Yes, I've only got a few minutes. Are you alone? Yeah, I am alone. Do you know what I mean? You can't tell anybody. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if to believe it. Honestly, I don't. Like, I need to see more of it. But locks changed, obviously. The combination on the lock for the guns, only a few people know now. He's also training Michael how to shoot them as well. But I feel like all of them just need to like train up, man up, go after you know, the others, try retrieve all the other kids as well. We've seen this black smoke come, stare Mr. Echo right in the face. That makes me think, was that what Locke seen, you know, when he stared into the island, like when it come after him? But also I want to know, like, what is it that Mr. Echo seen? We kind of went inside the black mist and I seen like a couple of flashing images, and to me it looked like a woman, but I'm not too actually sure. It might have been nobody, it might have just been my mind as well. And then obviously it fled. Do you know what I mean? He said he wasn't even scared of it as well, but Charlie was. So that was very interesting. Honestly, it really, really is. You can see it moving around the island, and obviously it's blowing up all these parts of the ground as well. So it's, you know, I want to know what it wanted to do when it dragged Locke down into that hole as well before Jack saved him. What was the intentions with that? Crazy stuff going on. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. If you did enjoy today's episode, please smash the like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.